kidding. Luke is hot, just kidding. He's my brother, not gonna lie. I think I might surely die if I say what's on my mind tonight. Luke is kinda cute. I see him in my dreams. I wanna play some video games with him right beside me. Oh, 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 oh. Witcher 3 was not overrated. Cyberpunk is gonna be twice as good. Demon Souls was so goddamn difficult for people. They built in a babysitter. Welcome to Talk Gaming.
I forgot to unmute myself. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I told Jacob to just like, hey, why don't you just play like a little something something for the intro? He did. He did. That was good. We learned a lot about Luke in that song, I think. Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out to Talk Gaming. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. So, to begin this week's episode, of course, right before we started streaming, the news broke. It looks like Biden won the U.S. presidential election. Congrats to Biden. I mean, I've tried very hard to stay apolitical on the channel, mostly because who gives an actual crap what I think about anything? I have a gaming channel. I talk about video games. That's what we do here. I'm not going to pretend as though you should be interested in what I think politically. So we're going to keep it that way, regardless of how, I feel or anybody here feels about the outcome. We're all gamers. We love games. And we're going to talk about the end of an actual generation of gaming. Because this really is we're, 2-3 days out from officially the start of the next gen. It's
a week and a few days out.
A week and a few days if you're Cammy, because she's in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh well. Merca. But yeah, exactly. But we're almost there. We're in the home stretch, and so we're going to talk about, of course, pertinent news items and things that have come out that are particularly interesting. And then we're also going to talk a little bit at the end about our kind of picks for the generation, games that we've really enjoyed, games we're looking forward to this month. Furthermore, we're also going to be selecting the winner, or two winners, of the Govee Light Strip giveaway that we started. They have phenomenal LED strips. They're the ones that are behind me right here. They light up a bunch of stuff in the studio, in my house. It's great. And all you had to do to enter was follow them on Instagram and me on Instagram. A bunch of people did that, so we're going to be selecting the winners of that giveaway live here at the end of the show, which is pretty cool. As for other, I'm going to look at my list just so I don't forget. The other thing to note, make sure to join our Discord. Links should be in the description box below, because we're going to be giving away 2 copies of Cyberpunk 2077 to members of the Discord. So make sure to jump over there, join. That's all you have to do. It's going to be pretty cool, pretty crazy. So jump over there, do that. It's going to be awesome. And lastly, we are on iTunes. We're on Spotify. All you have to do is search for Talk Gaming or click on one of the links in the description box below. Follow us there, rate us, like the show. It really does help. And we're going to try to get this thing up and running to a much larger audience. We got a great team, and we've got opening music that'll knock your socks off. So it's going to be a good time. Of course, super chats, we're going to try to keep an eye on the chat as we go through, but super chats will be read at the end of the stream. So if you do super chat, don't worry, we will read it. We'll get through it. We'll answer any questions you have. We'll tackle it. And of course, follow us all on Twitter. Just look us up. Jacob, what's your handle?
My Twitter handle is at Mr. Cow.
Okay.
All right.
Are there any numbers associated with it, or is it just?
Oh, there's
Mr. Cow?
there's a whole bunch of numbers associated with it.
But Mr. Cow, you'll
Mr.
see
Cow's
that,
the main one.
yeah, you'll see that he's followed by me and by Cammy, like, so you should be able to see it. Cammy, what's your handle?
Literally just at and then my name.
At Cammy
Huddlestone.
Cammy Huddlestone. Huddle around the stone. So follow us over there. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. What's the link for the Discord? Let me get it for you right now. We're going to be talking about Elden Ring. Don't worry. We're going to be getting to that. Where is my Discord link? There we go. We got everything popping all over. Very tightly packed on the stream. So to begin, Cammy, Jacob, how are you guys doing? How's your week been?
You go first.
We're back in lockdown.
You're back in lockdown.
So,
Full on
national lockdown. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. Jacob, how's your week been?
You know, it's pretty good. I found my ukulele after a while of searching, so that was pretty cool. I also I played through some good old Dark Souls 3 and a little bit more Red Dead Redemption 2 and a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5 because I want more Hideo Kojima stuff that's not just walking around. So yeah, a little bit of everything this week for me.
Attaboy. Yeah, I've been prepping, playing some games that are currently under NDA, so I can't really talk about them. But we're gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be pretty kick-ass. Yeah, don't worry, guys. I'm putting the Discord link in the description. It was supposed to be there. It's in there now. So yeah, I've been playing some of those games. I'll talk about those later in the week. Kind of conflicted on a couple of them, so it'll be interesting to see how it kind of develops and how we go. But yeah, mostly just excited for next gen. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. I don't know, like we've talked about before. I was able to get a Series S and X. I have not like touched a PS5. I've tried very hard. Cammy was able to get one, and I don't know, Jacob, were you able to get any of them?
No, I'm still actively trying though. I live in a fairly small town, so there's a good chance my pre-order might be filled at our local GameStop because I think they get allocated like 4 for this location. So we'll see.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, that's so. I mean, that's a good segue into our first kind of news topic. In case you guys hadn't heard, basically what PS5's, what Sony came out and said was that they're not going to be selling any of their consoles in store on release day, meaning that, like, if you go to Best Buy, if you're in the States, and Best Buy normally is where you would get your consoles on launch day, if you don't have a pre-order, they won't have any there for you. So you can't just show up, right at opening, run in and ask for a PS5. They're not going to have any there. The only way that you can get one on launch day, if you haven't already pre-ordered one, is to sit on the online store and basically just order one at launch, which is just basically another round of pre-orders because by all accounts they don't actually have much inventory on hand right now, so it'll basically just be back ordering everything, which, you know what, at least you can get an order in, hopefully, and be on track to get a next gen console. But they claim it's because they don't want to endanger anybody with COVID and everything. They don't want people camping out in big crowds, which makes sense, but also is mighty convenient because we know that they don't have much inventory to begin with. So, I mean, realistically, even if the whole pandemic wasn't happening, I think they would probably have like 2 or 3 consoles at each store, maybe. So, it might even be better this way, because at least this way everybody has an equal shot. Because straight up, like, PS5 is launching on a Thursday. I wouldn't be able to go and wait in line. Like, I have a job. I got to go to work. I can't do that. But if it's online, I can step away for 5 minutes and pre-order and try to tackle that. So I think it's probably better for everybody. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, our shops are shut anyway, so it wouldn't have been an option to go in store. So for me, it's like no different. I know I managed somehow to go and pre-ordered anyway, but if I hadn't, it's no different to how it would have been anyway. The one thing I am concerned about though is websites crashing, just with the sheer amount of traffic.
Yeah.
That's definitely a possibility.
Well, I think the volume will be probably lower than it has been, but I do agree. They really, they got to figure this out. I don't know how all of these major companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, can't figure out how to run a website effectively to the point where they can handle a surge of, in all likelihood, tens of thousands of people coming onto one product page. But still, that's kind of your job. Your job is to run a website so that people can buy it. That's what we do. That's what we do. Jacob's roommate came in.
Oh gosh.
My brother Ben walked in. Come say hi real quick. He came in and just said "fuck you" and walked out.
No, I did not say
Yes,
that.
you
I said
did.
Fox News. Jesus. What's up? What's up, Luke? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
This must be Kami.
Oh my
Hi.
god, we're live on YouTube.
Oh wow, how cool!
Oh my god.
Nice. Well, enjoy. I'll bring you some orange slices.
Oh my god.
Oh, how sweet. Yeah, Jacob, what do you think of all of it?
I shouldn't curse. I'm sorry. I got startled and now it's coming out of me. But it's the new generation. I don't think they're gonna make a whole bunch right off the bat. I think we're gonna have a fair amount of them. But at the same time, it's like it kind of makes sense that they want people to actively be wanting them throughout the next few months. It's like what Nintendo used to do in the old days, where they would control the amount of stuff stores would get, so that there would always be people after it, and there'd always be a want for that product because it wasn't easy to get. I mean, they did that with the Wii and stuff like that. So I'm not really too concerned about it. If I don't get one now, I'll just be like, oh, okay, I'll get one later, and that's what they want. So I say their plan is working.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad to see what they've done, and I mean, I just hope that the infrastructure is better set up this time around. I know that Walmart said that they're going to be doing 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., 4 p.m., 6 p.m. So they're going to do slots. What Best Buy did that worked pretty well when I got the Series S was they made it so you basically go to the landing page for the product, you hit pre-order, and then it sits and it just spins, and it says you've been added to a queue. When your turn comes, you're going to be redirected to the next page, and then it'll let all of those. So basically what it did is it had this giant pool of people. Everybody came in, said they want to pre-order. They clicked the button, and then it would take just a few of them and pass them on down into the next stage, which is much smaller, and allow them to check out with the product. And if they checked out within 2 minutes or whatever, they got theirs and their order went through. And then they would fill in the empty spaces with the next group. And they would just kind of continually spin that and spin that and spin that. And I think it worked. It worked pretty well. I just what's really funny is that NVIDIA couldn't figure this out. NVIDIA, one of the industry leaders of AI and software tech, couldn't figure out how to properly manage a launch of graphics cards without bots buying probably in all likelihood 90+% of them. It's absolutely insane. And I just there's got to be some way of verifying people, whether it's through CAPTCHA or it's through some sort of two-factor authentication. You have to sign up for an account with a phone number tied to it, maybe 2 weeks beforehand, and there's got to be a way to do it. But that's what's so frustrating, is that there was literally no infrastructure there to do it. It's it's their first day on the job ever. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna come out with a controversial opinion, all right, and just say this: I don't think any of this is too big of a deal because at the end of the day, we'll get it. Some of us will just get it a little bit later. So for the people very upset that they're not getting something on launch day or right as it's available, just think about it this way. Remember when the Xbox One launched and it sucked? Wish that upon the people that get it. Hope that they get it and they're like, oh, dang it. They're like, maybe you're avoiding some form of mistake. Maybe you're avoiding the red ring. Most of the time it's Microsoft stuff. So for those people, look out. But for PlayStation owners, you'll get one eventually. It won't be an eternal wait. And I know we're all anxious to play the games. I'm definitely anxious to play Demon's Souls. More than anything in the world right now, I want to be playing that Demon's Souls game. It looks so incredible. I've been playing Dark Souls 3 just to curb my hunger for it. But it's just a little bit of patience, a little bit of okay, and you never know. Maybe they horribly screw up the first round of consoles, and there's always that to look forward to.
Yeah, you never know. And I mean, it's like Gamers Nexus said, like, it's not food, it's not water. You'll be okay. Like, yeah, we're all hyped, but it's going to be okay. And like in all likelihood, these launch titles, they're good, but with the exception of like 2, they're all available on current gen stuff. So, it's not like you're totally losing out on everything. And the other element is that like Sony and Microsoft aren't allergic to money. They have a very strong incentive to get as many of these damn things out as they possibly can. And they're going to be working day and night to get to that point, to try and make that happen. Because the more graphics cards they can get out, the more money Nvidia makes. The more PS5s Sony can get out, the more money that Sony makes. The more Xboxes Microsoft can get out, the more money they make. So, it's not like there's some grand conspiracy to keep them from you. They're trying. They're working their butts off. It's just when you're talking about trying to fulfill demand for tens of millions of products globally during a pandemic, when you have to deal with all of the other crap that's involved with shipment and handling, and it's absolutely insane what I'm sure they must be going through to try to get these things from China to the UK to the States to India to everywhere. I don't know if it's launching in India on day one. I don't know. Point is, it's very complicated and they're trying their best. We just have to, wait our turn, as frustrating as it may be. So as for, you mentioned Dark Souls, so I want to move into, we're kind of bouncing around the dock a little bit, but I want to jump over to Elden Ring, which of course is From Software's upcoming title. That kind of went silent, to be honest. It was interesting because they got announced, the whole thing got announced, and everybody was like, this is intriguing, especially because it was during the peak of the Game of Thrones era. So everybody was like, is it George R.R. Martin?
Yeah.
You the guy? Yeah. So that was at its peak. They bring out this thing that he's working with Miyazaki, and they're working on this world together, and it's going to be amazing and crazy. And honestly, we haven't seen much of anything. Like, we don't really know what this game involves or entails. We haven't seen gameplay. We don't know if it's closer to Sekiro or if it's closer to like Dark Souls or Bloodborne. We don't really know if it's in like action RPG or if it's more of a linear.
Well, hold that
I'm not even sure how
thought.
you'd call Sekiro.
Hold that thought, because they actually tweeted out the exact genre of the game, and I think it does shed some light because they say that it's a fantasy action RPG. Lining it up with such titles as The Witcher 3 and South Park: The Stick of Truth. So I think we're in for a pretty funny romp, all things considered.
Oh.
Yes. I think we're in store for a real treat. I mean, it's either way. And like, this is, I can pull up the tweet right here if it will let me. I think this is the button I push. I think. Just like, oh yeah, it works. So this is like, of course, the tweet that they put out. It's all washed out because I have an HDR monitor and it gets crazy. Yeah, this scrap of news will sustain me for many years. And basically they just said that it's a dark fantasy action RPG. That can mean a lot, especially in the days where almost everything is an RPG. So we'll have to see. Because like, honestly, I'm not sure if I would call Sekiro an RPG. at the end of the day. Like it's a great game, but it's more of a rhythm game, you know. But as for all of this, so when you're a YouTuber, you get a lot of info thrown at you from a lot of people. You get the 12-year-olds that come at you and say, my uncle works at Bethesda and he said that they're making the next Grand Theft Auto game. Like, we get stuff like that, which just is totally insane and not true. Then we get other times where we're told actual stuff, like when I guess I can talk about it now without calling this individual out. I had a team member of Naughty Dog reach out to me during The Last of Us Part 2 debacle with all of the story leaks and everything. And he kind of like told me, like, yes, what you're seeing is true. Yes, these things happen. He's like, no, Abby is not trans, but there are trans characters in the game. Like, he went through kind of piece by piece and broke down exactly how this worked. And he was offering words of comfort. He's like, this actually isn't that bad. There's a lot more context to this. It's a really cool narrative trick they're playing because they're going to be flipping the story on its head and things like that. So with instances like that, like, obviously I know that individual is actually working there. I can look at his LinkedIn page. I can see that he like has worked at Naughty Dog for multiple years. Like, I can verify that. I've been reached out to by somebody who claims to be involved on Elden Ring. Again, I don't know like how big From Software is, so I don't want to be too specific. Like, if I say something about Ubisoft and I'm like, yeah, a member of the PR team reached out to me, that could be any number of like 200 people, so it's probably not going to endanger their jobs. I don't know how big From Software is, so I'm going to just like keep it very, very vague. And furthermore, like, I don't read Japanese, like, so I can't read any of this individual's like credentials and things that they send. So I have no idea if it's legitimate or not. But basically what they said is that they're running into issues with the engine and upgrading it for next gen, which, I'm glad that they just haven't announced anything further. I think it's the same reason that we saw that God of War just got a title card reveal, because they're likely in the throes of actually like actively trying to get everything set for next year and next gen, making everything is pushed to the absolute limits. But as of right now, it's just, I think all of these companies are trying really hard to get their engines working and to the point where they can take advantage of next gen stuff. Because one of the surefire ways to get your game to sell super well at the start of a new gen is to have amazing graphics and tech that you can't get anywhere else, that pushes that console to the limits in a way that what will then be previous gen games weren't able to do. So I think God of War, didn't reveal any gameplay footage or anything super specific about the game because they're keeping all of their eggs, or their cards close to their chest, and they're waiting to show all of that until they have something concrete. And I think it's the same with From Software, that they're just like,
Oh, I'll fill the void. Don't worry. So, when I hear a gamer joke, anybody?
Yes, please.
A gamer joke? Why, I was playing Animal Crossing, and I got a notification that said new bugs this month, and I got very worried. Then I remembered that Animal Crossing is the only game where new bugs are seen as a feature. But Tis. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. Don't worry. So yeah, I think it just makes sense. Like, a lot of these I think a lot of these companies are just dealing with the throes of trying to upgrade engines and get all of that. So it happens. It happens. It really does happen, but it's fine. You know, baby steps. We'll get there together. Like at this point, I don't think you can expect much news about these big next gen projects, just because they're all hesitant to overpromise and underdeliver. We saw what happened with Watch Dogs. Ubisoft is still dealing with the memes from that. So, like, I think they're all. Hopefully, all of these companies have learned their lesson. But from what this individual was telling me, Elden Ring is on the way. It's still working. They're just running into engine problems, which is why they haven't shown anything more concrete, and they're taking their time. But to be honest, like, From Software has so much money at their disposal. I don't think, like, Bloodborne, they kind of rushed out because they were coming off of Dark Souls 2, and like they had, or Dark Souls and Demon Souls, and they were coming off of some games that did okay but weren't like crazy console crushing exclusives. Then Bloodborne came out kind of rushed and did phenomenally well, and then Sekiro did phenomenally well. Dark Souls 3 did phenomenally well. So I think now they have, it's what was the comedian? There's a comedian I heard, he had a whole bit about FU money, and I'll say that for the algorithm. FU money. He's like, the goal in professional life is to get to the point where you have FU money, where you can just be like, I want to do this, or in this case, I want to make this game. Crazy ambitious, very expensive, time consuming to make. And then the managers are like, well, no, you have to get it out right now because we have to make our money back. And if you have FU money, you're just like, no, FU. I don't care. I'm doing my thing. That's the goal. And I think From Software has reached that point, so they can take their time. It just probably means we're not looking at it till 2022, in all likelihood, to be perfectly honest. So I think it's a ways out, based on what they were saying. But with that said, speaking of engine upgrades,
That's exactly the segue I was hoping we would do.
yeah,
That was
speaking of engine
perfect.
upgrades. Cammy, what's going on with engine upgrades over at Bethesda?
Well, it's exciting times. They have upgraded their engine. Well, they are upgrading their engine with a team 5-fold bigger.
They said by a factor of 5,
By a
which
factor of 5.
if we go off of the team that worked on the engine for Fallout 76, I think it's safe to say that they have 5 people working on the engine.
Straight up. I'm glad to hear that they are actively, like, I mean, they've known for a long time. Everybody's common criticism has been that they have a crappy engine that's like it's a Frankenstein engine. Like it's barely strung together. So I'm glad to see that they at least now are like, okay, after 76, we really need to fix this thing. And I think they just need to overhaul. He says that they're overhauling. He said that they've done a lot of stuff on procedural generation. They've done a lot of stuff. And by all accounts, it looks like Starfield probably involves multiple planets. So if they found a way to do like procedural generation of planets to a way that's like expansive, I think that could end up being really, really solid.
I'm excited for it. They made some good games in the past, I must say. No matter what you say about them, the sour taste in our mouth still from Fallout 76. They made some good stuff. And I know there's a lot of people that hate Fallout 4, but Fallout 4 had some good aspects to it. But again, it was the UI was better, but could, like, because you remember looting in the, like, Fallout 3 and Skyrim and all those games, it, like, brought up a menu, and then they streamlined that. If they can find a way to streamline things even further with their UI, make their engine not feel like your character's filled with rocks when they're moving around, like, that'd be perfect. That's all I want.
Baby steps. Don't get too hyped, Jacob. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Take out
Baby
a few of the rocks. That's all I ask.
Yeah. I don't know, Cammy, what did you think of Fallout 4 and 76?
I'm now being exposed because I haven't played it.
4 or 76?
Yeah.
Did you, well, Skyrim?
No.
What?
I know.
You haven't played Skyrim?
I know. You have to remember, I got into video games not long ago.
Yeah. Well, and she just got her platinum of The Witcher 3, so that's
So
good.
I play games like intensely. So I don't play widely, but when I do play a game, I'm like in it. Jacob's just so shocked.
What happens in England? It's Skyrim. They have a
don't play video
remaster you can
games.
play.
We read and knit. We make crumpets.
Okay.
No, I'm.
Crumpets.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask you a
Okay.
question, and I need you to answer me very honestly, because
Oh,
this is
God.
very serious. Okay,
being exposed.
very serious. What the hell is a crumpet?
Do you know what
You heard the
pikelets
man,
are?
answer the man. What is a crumpet?
Do you know what pikelets are? Do you have pikelets in America?
No, that's
That-
actually a brand new word.
God. Okay.
I have no clue what that is.
You made that up. You're lying to us.
I
right
am
now.
not. Trying to think of a way to describe it. I don't know. Maybe like picture an English muffin.
Okay.
Which isn't a muffin. A lot lighter, as
Okay.
in
Okay.
more airy, with lots of holes in it.
Okay.
You warm it up, and it's essentially just a transport for loads of butter.
Okay.
That's how I would describe a crumpet.
Okay. So it's like a bready butter spoon.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of bready butter spoons, have you guys heard about this new Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Yeah.
Legendary.
Like legendary, like butter being
Yeah.
poured down my throat.
Oh yeah.
Well
Get ready for the burnt out monitor. I'm gonna cut away to the Bioware thing. It's a little. Actually, this isn't that bad. HDR monitors and support on Windows is terrible, just for the record. Yeah, this is it. They just announced it this morning. Yay!
Ooh,
Yay! What about it, Jacob?
I like it.
Okay.
I got the whatever the hell EA Play, not to play any sports games or their garbage new stuff, but to play a lot of their old stuff. And I played through a good deal of Mass Effect for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. But it definitely looked a little bit dated. I can usually get into because I play retro games all the time, but there's something about that beginning 360 era that's just not as charming as like the N64 era, like really low poly count characters. Like, you know what I mean? Like Mario 64 looks more aesthetically pleasing to me than something like San Andreas, where it's, you know, it's got that like asymmetrical faces and all that. So I just couldn't get into it. So the fact that they're doing this gets me really excited because I like the game, I like the story, I like the way it was playing out. It was just kind of hard to look at, which is what
Yeah.
happens to old games. Now it'll be good to look at, hopefully, and then I
Well-
can just enjoy it.
Well, so I have the announcement page right here, and I can bounce over this so that we can read it because there's a couple things they say in here that is kind of interesting. For one, this is Casey Hudson, which is they're the vice president of the of Bioware. So he's got a lot on his plate right now. But he said it's tough to keep a big secret, and we really struggled to keep this one a surprise. But now it's official. Today we announced Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We've heard for years your requests for Mass Effect remasters, so we're happy to finally reveal that we've been working on a remaster edition of the Mass Effect trilogy. For many months now, our team at BioWare has been hard at work updating the textures, shaders, models, effects, and technical features of the three enormous games. Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in its best possible form. Just like Jacob was saying, it's been amazing to see the adventures of Commander Shepard take on new life in super sharp resolution, faster frame rates, and beautiful visual enhancements. And as game designers and developers, we always hope that our games will transcend their original platforms. Having the opportunity to remaster the trilogy means that the fruits of a decade of our work will live on and will be experienced better and clearer than ever before. It will include single-player based content and DLC from Mass Effect, Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3, plus all of the promo weapons, armors, packs, and it will all be remastered and optimized for 4K. It will be all available spring of 2021 for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, with forward compatibility targeted with enhancements for Series X and PlayStation 5. And they're going to reveal more info in the new year. Which, like, all of this sounds great to me. I'm down with the boogie train on this. I think that's all great. I find it interesting that he says for many months now. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. It seems like if this were a huge project, that would probably take more than a few months. Maybe not. What do I know? Especially because rumors about this have been floating around for a while. Like, I would say over a year. So if you've been working on this for over a year, why wouldn't you say that, like, for over a year we've been working on it? I don't know. Maybe that's his way of saying years. I don't know.
Maybe it's like, because they also announced another additional thing, you know, that other Mass Effect game that'll hopefully be coming out soon. Maybe what he's talking about is that they had, like, split attention a little bit on their team. And he's like, now we're full focused on this to push it out now. This is like project numero uno. It's not like just starting up. And for the last few months, we've gotten to the point where we're almost ready to release it. That's kind of what I take it as.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, like, the next phrase, 2 sentences in this little article, or press release, whatever you would call this, is that meanwhile, here at BioWare, a veteran team has been hard at work envisioning the next chapter of the Mass Effect universe. We are in early stages on the project and can't say any more just yet, but we're looking forward to sharing our vision for where we'll be going next. So, I mean, they're working on the next thing. I think, obviously, Anthem didn't work out too well. So hopefully they can figure it out, and hopefully they're given the tools and resources to get it done. It's just, we'll have to see. They're not the same team and group that they used to be. So maybe I'm just pessimistic, but seeing a veteran team, like, I'm not sure that carries much weight with me.
Yeah, old people suck, Luke, you ageist. They worked on the old games. They must be bad. I'm not saying they'll be good. I'm just saying that the guys who made Spider-Man for the PS4 also made Spyro the Dragon for the PS1. So maybe if Mass Effect, if BioWare works on some sort of Spider-Man game, it would turn out okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It worked with that one company.
It did.
Yeah.
I can't
I think it
deny
could
that.
work.
It probably could.
But no, when the last thing you release is garbage and the thing before it was goddamn garbage, I think that it doesn't bode well that you're bringing back the people that worked on those 2 pieces of garbage.
Well, that's the question, though, right? Like, do they mean veterans of Mass Effect? Because I've seen some tweets and articles being like, they brought back veterans of the original games. And I don't know if that's what that means. Like, it's a veteran developer, to me, just means like a developer with some experience.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean necessarily experience on the team. Like, what was the exact phrasing?
Veteran humanoids.
Yeah, it just says here at BioWare, a veteran team has been hard at work. It doesn't say like veterans of the Mass Effect series are working on the project. Like, I don't know. I'm open-minded. I want it to kick ass, but you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And if they fool me a 3rd time, I'm gonna freak out.
Well, it'll probably just be it for them, right? I mean, you're making gigantic AAA titles. The last 2 you made were panned by critics, terrible. One of them like almost unplayable at first with Andromeda, and then was just goofy as hell. And then you have Anthem, which is honest to God just one of the most boring, repetitive experiences ever. It's like $1 in the used bin at GameStop right now. This could be very well be their last chance. Maybe they're going to kick it into overdrive a little bit and really try to get this to work. But like, I don't know if they can do that. They definitely could do it before, but it's different now.
Yeah. I don't know, Cammy, did you ever try any of the BioWare, like, Mass Effect games? Oh, she's laughing. I'm not.
You're exposing me so much.
You never played Mass Effect?
No.
Oh,
It's okay, guys. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
what about Banjo-Kazooie? Did you ever play Banjo-Kazooie? No? That's my favorite game.
I'm so sorry.
What about Wii Sports?
Yes, I did play
Oh,
that.
thank God. Thank God.
We found some. Okay, we can all
Thank
unify.
God.
Make it sound like I don't play any games.
No,
You play
like-
new ones. It's fine.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, not all of us were gamers as kids. Like,
No, I wasn't.
yeah, like neither was I.
Literally,
You know,
Probably
I
4 years of gaming. That's all I've got.
for you. Okay, what was like the first big game that really like knocked you out of the park? Like, wow,
Wii
I want
Sports.
to play more of these. Wii Sports.
Uncharted 2, probably.
Uncharted 2?
That's
Okay,
a good
yeah.
one. Okay.
It's a good one. But
That
like
is a good one.
I didn't play video games for a really long time because something personal happened and whatever. It put me off games because I associated it with this personal thing that happened. And then it was actually through YouTube and watching people talk about video games. And this shows you how out of date I was. I was like, wait, they talk in the Lego games now? Because I was like,
That still throws me off. I can't
Yeah.
believe that happens.
so that's how out of sync I was. And then I came across people talking about Uncharted and like the Arkham series. And I was like, whoa, video games are like films now. That's so cool. And that's how I got back into it. So yes, I'm catching up on all the games I've missed.
I
slowly.
will mail you a Nintendo 64 with some games.
Thanks.
You need to experience them.
I know.
You have to get like the different plug adapters and stuff too, though, Jacob.
That's fun. We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. I'll order you a PAL one. We'll do that.
Thanks.
Be fine.
Okay, I'm glad we could sort that out. I figured it out. I was worried there for a second. I was like, oh.
Meanwhile, Luke over here doesn't even know a Nintendo Wii 2 is coming out.
The real Wii, as we talk about it.
Wheel in your expectations for this console.
I lost my sheet. Hold on. Yeah, so I mean there's all of that stuff. In the same vein as Bethesda, we had been talking about that. They kind of accidentally confirmed, or maybe super purposefully, they confirmed the leaks that had come out a few weeks ago. I made a video on those leaks. Basically, Ashley Chung, one of the studio directors over at Bethesda, he did an interview, and on his shirt he had the same logo as was on the character in the leaks, which, I mean, either it's the world's biggest coincidence or those leaks were real. And by all accounts and measures, it seems as though the leaks were real. So what do we gain from that? I don't know. I guess it verifies that it looks like it's in space. We already knew that. Like, I don't think we get anything from these leaks, to be honest. There's really not much of any interesting information to garner from them, other than just like, oh, look, it's the game that's coming out in the future. Yay. So I don't know. But that happened. That's at least somewhat interesting. And then PS5 backwards compatibility apparently kicks ass. That's the other thing that we got. Digital Foundry did a whole test and breakdown of how it worked and how all of the these current gen games worked on PS5 with the beast mode, basically, or boost mode. Do they call it boost mode or beast mode?
Boost.
Probably
Boost.
Boost Mode. I think Beast Mode is trademarked by Marshawn Lynch.
Ah, that could make sense. Yeah, no, apparently it works really well. It's hard to gauge exactly, what's going on with it because, of course, PS4 Pro tends to work with checkerboarded up scaling to 4K, so it's not a direct comparison to a Series X backwards compatible game to the One X because that was running at native 4K. So it's not an exact one-to-one comparison, but it's good to see that day one a lot of these PS4 games are going to run super well without any real tweaking, which is good. Yay.
I'm excited for that. I don't think I've played all. No, I played all of The Last of Us. Never mind, I'm not excited for that. How far back does it go?
I mean,
Only
they said,
PS4.
yeah, PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
I want to
you
play. No, you go first.
I was just gonna say the only way you can play older games is if they got a port to PS4.
Yeah.
So you can play like the Uncharted collection and
If
The
you
Last of
buy
Us remastered, but
The Nathan Drake. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. We gotta get some people remastering PS2 games then. I have a lot I'd like to play.
Yeah, go back to those good old days. Okay,
Wall-E.
real question though, from Felipe. Felipe? I don't know. The text is really small on my screen. Real question. Are they going to bring Skyrim to the to the Xbox Series X?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I believe they will, Felipe. Don't you worry. Rest your head.
When do you think they're going to do that? First year?
3 days.
3
Maybe
days?
next hour. I'm not sure.
Next
We're
week?
sitting on the goddamn thing. They're not going to update it for next gen consoles. They've already done a remaster. Are they going to do a remaster of it? Like they're just going to put it out and just be like, yeah, you can have it now. Put in some artificial god rays and call it good, and then just not worry about it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very either way. Like, I think it'll get added to Game Pass, which is probably their way of bringing it to next gen. So, like, I think that's probably what they're gonna do, and that'll be the way they do it. The more I hear them talk about it, the more I'm convinced that they're probably going to be at least timed exclusives to Xbox. And I think one of the ways that they might do it is that all of Bethesda's current stuff on next gen will be gettable through Game Pass, but I don't think they're gonna like sell a PS5 version of like Fallout 4 remastered if they ever do that. I don't know. Todd Howard is not a fan of remasters apparently, so it's not super likely. The only reason they did Skyrim is because, for one, it's Skyrim, and for two, apparently that was how they prepared the engine for Fallout 4. Like, they decided, okay, how we're going to prep the engine and prep the team to work on next gen, which now is soon to be last gen, was to port Skyrim to like Xbox One and PS4, and they did that, and like, I don't know, I think it seems to have worked relatively well. So yeah, we got that. As for other stuff, I mean, that's kind of the rundown. Everybody's just waiting patiently for next gen to launch this week or next week if you're in certain countries. Sorry, Cammy. But I mean, that kind of brings us to the overall roundup, because obviously this generation's about to come to a close. It's been a crazy one. So to begin, like, first of all, we're reaching the cutoff for Game of the Year. Let's talk about that real quick. What is everyone currently sitting at for Game of the Year 2020? Because we're about at the point where, Cyberpunk might make it this year, but I mean, let's be honest, maybe not. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we're reaching that cutoff. Based on what you've played and seen so far this year, what has your vote?
I like Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That game is badass. I like Animal Crossing, and I like The Last of Us Part 2. So far, what I've played, those three are probably my favorite. I'm going to try Crusader Kings 3. That's supposed to be super good and possibly a Game of the Year contender. But those three right there, I even with The Last of Us Part 2, I haven't played an insane amount of it, but I know because I edited the critique for it, so that story is burned in my brain. But like from a gameplay perspective, Ori and the Will of the Wisps is just, I love it so much. It looks so nice. It plays so nice. And then Animal Crossing New Horizons, constant updates, constant good content, looks really pretty. It's pretty solid.
Cammy, what about you?
Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yeah, I think it's so good. It's so good. Like, for a game to have that much pressure on it to perform, you've got all the people who are massive fans of the original to have all of that pressure on it and to exceed that pressure just blows my mind that they managed to do that. And at the same time is pleasing all these people. I can see Jacob leaning into his mic.
Did you ever play the original?
Afterwards, yeah.
Okay, good. I love that. That's why I haven't touched the new one yet, because I like the original so much.
It's worth it.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, it's so good. I don't know how they did it, because it's both a remake and a sequel at the same time. It's just I can't vocalize.
I gotta give it a try. I put it
off.
off. I put it off because I like those cute little big-armed characters in the first game.
They still have big arms.
Yep.
It's so good.
Jacob, you could still get the big arms.
I can still get the big arms?
You don't have to give them up.
No.
I'm sold. Game stuff. We got big arms.
Still cross dresses.
Oh, so they left all the left the fun stuff in.
They kept all the weirdness in and made it better.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have to try it now.
The weird
It's
thing with
so
the
good.
house, yeah, all of that stuff's in there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's bizarre and wonder. I love it so much.
Yeah. And the ending will just.
Yeah.
You won't. Yeah. I can't even
Spoiler
explain
alert.
it without.
I mean, for me, like, I see a lot of people in the chat saying Battletoads. I think that's fair. Truly phenomenal.
Oh, people like Battletoads?
Yeah, apparently.
I thought I was the only one that enjoyed that. I don't know if it's game of the year for me, but it's Rareware making a really fun game.
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, I spent so much time dealing with The Last of Us Part 2 that's kind of ingrained in my mind. And I think it did a lot of stuff really well, but I think there's also a fair number of things that it was very self-indulgent with, and it's tough to want to reward that, because I think it could have been way better than it was, if that makes sense. It's still great, but I think it could have been way better. As for, like, a lot of people have also said Ghost of Tsushima. Like I've said many times before, I've tried to get into that game and I just can't. I don't know what it is. There's no logical reason for it. I've tried so hard to give that game the time of day and get through it, but it's like what was it? Shadow of War. Like, a lot of people love Shadow of War after all of the updates. But I've tried to get through that game so many times, and there's just no dopamine. There's no, like, serotonin. There's nothing that comes into my brain that says, this is fun, continue. There's nothing. It's just all mindless. Like, it's just terrible for me. But, like, I can still accept that many people love Ghost of Tsushima, and I can see why it's a fantastic game and why people would love it. As for other games, I mean, obviously Final Fantasy VII, is truly fantastic. Like, it's way better than it has any right to be, which I just, you got to give them credit for that. It's pretty fantastic. I tried Doom Eternal. Those games just always make me motion sick, so I can't really consider that. I got like 2 hours into it before I had to put it down. I don't know what it is, but it's all of those id Tech, like, super fast-paced shooters, whether it's console or PC, whether I'm using 144 hertz display or 60 at 4K. Like, I can't. It makes me sick. So I can't really count that. Cyberpunk, we'll see if it ever launches. Watch Dogs Legion, I thought was pretty cool. It's really interesting, but I'd give it like a B. I just don't think it has, I guess, the like, it's really cool as a novel idea, but I don't think it does anything phenomenally well to the point where it deserves, I guess, exceptional recognition. But that was it always comes with the territory. Ubisoft goes big and wide. They don't really try to specialize in anything really small and specific. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I've of course done the preview events, and from what I've seen there, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be doing a lot that's different. It seems to be basically Odyssey with some Horizon Zero Dawn inspiration, which is something I didn't really expect to see, but it works. But it's not, from what I've played, truly revolutionary. but we'll see when it launches, kind of how that opinion evolves. Animal Crossing is the one that I think is really interesting as a wild card, because that game came out at the perfect time with all of these lockdowns, with everybody feeling as though they were just stuck at home and lonely, and like life was just awful. And then Animal Crossing comes along and it's just the ultimate feel good game. Like it's I don't even know how to, like, it's like a good pot pie. Like, is it that good for you? Probably not, but like it's good for the soul, you know? It's just good for the soul. And
why'd you choose a pot pie?
I don't know. I was like,
why is that?
Just,
is that
to
your
me that seems like
food?
comfort food.
Not like a handful of jelly beans or something? Okay, well, go on then. Two was cool though. The second remake they did was really cool. Resident Evil 2. Can you believe that Luke Stevens doesn't use NordVPN? What is he, some kind of darned fool?
I do
Sorry,
though.
I went really quiet because the chat just massively distracted me.
Oh, what did the chat say?
You don't want to know what the chat said.
I'm
Luke, we
scared.
can't hear you.
Something highly inappropriate, the chat said, and I was like, gosh.
Uh-oh. Oh, that happens.
It happens. You gotta be
You
careful.
crazy kids. Come on down.
That's a strange experience.
Yeah.
It's gonna
So
close that.
yeah, don't worry. I don't know why the mic keeps doing that, guys. I will let you know. I am in the process of buying all the parts for the new PC, and we'll be rebuilding it and fixing everything. It's been Old Faithful, but I think it's just at the point where stuff is not really where it needs to be anymore. But yeah. No, we're good. We're okay. We made it.
Can I put another wildcard in for Game of the Year?
Toss it in.
Persona 5 Royal.
Didn't play it. They've released like what, 3 or 4 different kinds of Persona 5 now?
No, just two.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Let's see, I don't pay attention to any of it, and I feel bad because they look like fun.
They're excellent.
They're
I don't
good.
think it will win anything because it's, sort of like a remake, kind of, or I don't know. But
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, I think it's also fantastic. It's just, it gets tricky when it's a re-release, but it's not like a remake, and it's not a remaster. Like, it's just in this weird, like, it's a
Gray
new launch.
area.
Yeah, like, would you give Skyrim Special Edition Game of the Year credentials? Like, probably not.
Probably not.
But
But it's a good game, and it's worth.
yeah,
it's worth mentioning that it's.
and Persona 5 Royale adds content.
It
They add
does.
a good amount of content. So,
It's a tricky
there's-
area.
exactly. So there's all of that. As for, let's see, some of the others. I mean, I think you do have to potentially look at Warzone, because I think to ignore the wild success of that game, or at least mode, I think does it a disservice.
I think if we can give it mode of the year, but as far as a fleshed out game goes, I think Warzone is not that. I think it's one of the best like first person shooter modes. I probably the best of all time, if not the best, and the best one out there right now. But it's definitely not top game.
Yeah, I just mean in terms of impact on the year. Like, it's just blown everybody away, and everybody seems to play it. The numbers they get are insane. They do billions of dollars in revenue, like on a monthly basis. It's ridiculous.
It's fun.
Fall Guys, I've heard some people mention. I've played it a little bit. It's fun, but I mean, I wouldn't. Like it'd be fun indie, but is it even an indie game? I think it's from a pretty big studio.
Mario Party doesn't win Game of the Year, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that one is that one's a long shot for sure. And same with something like if someone wants to be like for indie Game of the Year, Among Us is probably an easy pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's just it's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but I mean, also Among Us launched
Yeah, it's
on
not
PC like
a
2
new
years
game,
ago.
is it?
Oh, you're right. It's super old. Maybe comeback Game of the Year. Is that a category? Let's make our own Game
We
Awards
could make
show.
it. Yeah, we can make it a category.
Comeback Game of the Year.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could do that. But I mean, that's the thing is, it's like, if you're talking about the game that had impact for the year, do you bring that up? I think honestly, at this point, you could probably even have like a remaster or remake category, like best remake of the year or remaster, because then like Mafia, that remake is ridiculous in how good it is. Like I'll say it again and I'll say it 1,000 times. Like that is ridiculously well done, and it just reminds me of how fantastic the original Mafia was and how ahead of its time it was. But yeah, no, there's so many great things out there. It'll be tricky. I think the big question mark right now is Cyberpunk, seeing if that launches and how it is. You know, if it launches, I think most people will probably give that Game of the Year just like give it a nod. And
well, see, and that's where the like if you're looking at most impactful game, freaking the Warzone's been out all this time. It's very popular. Cyberpunk hasn't come out yet, and I would say that it's just as well known and popular as Warzone.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether or not it can live up to the hype at this point. So yeah, and I mean, I think Tifa900 says in the chat, Fall Guys was that game that got huge popularity but got drop kicked by Among Us. I think that's probably, like, I've seen a lot more people talking about Among Us recently than Fall Guys, so I think there is some truth to that it's kind of been overtaken. And I think Fall Guys probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as popular if it hadn't launched on PS Plus. Like, I wouldn't have paid $20 or whatever it was to buy it. And like, if I had, I'd be kind of upset because there's not much in there, especially compared to like Warzone for free, you know. So I think there's that. But yeah, let's go. So Jiminator gave us a super chat. I said we would go through all the super chats. He's actually given us 2. So the first super chat from Jiminator was, for some, this will be the last weekend that we turn on our PS4s and Xbox Ones. That's like, makes me want to do. Yeah, you know. Somebody's gonna clip that. It's gonna look terrible. It's the Hunger Games thing, because I just watched that.
Three up the okay. Anyways,
3
Oh
up.
God.
Bloop. Yeah, no, I think that's probably true. I actually know a couple of people that are trading theirs in as part of getting the next gen console.
A disgusting act, I must say.
I just don't have. I don't like. I'm not gonna have room. Like, where am I? I have a slim in here.
Put it in a picture frame. It brought you joy for 7 years. God damn it! Let it rest.
Oh, I think I'm gonna keep this little PS4 Slim because this is the first thing I ever, like, this was instrumental in the channel getting huge. I remember I got it. It would have been like early 2016, I think. It was like my first console that was mine, and I went and I bought it. Like, I got one of those stupid, don't ever do this, I got one of the stupid credit cards for like people fresh out of high school. It has like a $500 credit limit and like a 30% interest. Like, it's absolutely insane, like borderline criminal. And I got that card and I was like, I'm going to treat myself. So I went to the store and I got this PS4 and I got Uncharted 4, because that had like just come out around the time that I gotten it. So maybe it was mid to late 2016. But I got that, I plugged it in, and I was just, my mind was blown. I had a whole new world open up to me. I played The Last of Us. I played like all of these games I had never played before. And it was fantastic. And so this little thing, I think, is part of the reason that this channel exists, and I owe it a great deal of gratitude. So I probably will. Like I was telling Cammie and Jacob before, we're working on a studio kind of redesign. We're going to remodel some stuff. And I think I'm going to get some shelves that go like across here. And we'll put like the collector's editions and stuff that some companies have sent and that I've gotten from games I was looking forward to. And I'll probably put those back there. And maybe I'll frame this guy up and get him set up there. And we'll do that. I have the God of War PS4 Pro too. And that just seems like a waste to trade that in, you know? Like it just seems like a waste. It's awesome. Jiminator's second super chat was, my game of the year is Ghost of Tsushima. It's just the perfect game right now, and since my birthday was in July, it lined up great at the right time. A realistic samurai tale, dream come true, closely followed by The Last of Us Part 2. And I think that's definitely fair. I mean, I have a buddy that he played Ghost of Tsushima, and every single thing about it, like he cannot get enough. It is the perfect game for him, and I'm glad to hear it. Like, people give YouTubers crap because we tend to like, I guess, crap on some different games, and like we seem particularly negative. And some guys I think are definitely that way. But like we want people to have fun. Like, I want a new obsession. I want another game to love. Like, do you think I enjoy disliking things? No. Like I want every game to be on the Witcher 3 levels of excitement and hype, but it doesn't always happen. And geez, Gertie, thank you. 40 pounds. Love you guys. Thank you so much, Gertie. You're phenomenal. Thank you.
England.
Woo!
Anyways.
Yeah. I haven't checked the market projections today. After all of the political stuff that's happened, the market might have adjusted where that's like $6,000. 40 pounds could be a lot of money in the States. You know, either way, that's a ton of money. Thank you, my friend. That's very, very
Thank
generous.
you.
Thank you.
I will sing a song of your praises.
Oh, Jacob, sing it. Go ahead.
Thanks. All right.
Yeah, well, Jacob, you have to sing a song of thanks to Jiminator as well.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Truly phenomenal. Let's see. As for November games that I'm looking forward to, we said we would address this. I mean, I think really the only real game that's of note is probably Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I'm going to be playing the crap out of that, and should have a review coming out, critique thing. We'll break it down, and I think it'll be interesting to see how that, I guess, compares to our hopes. I can't say much, if you can't tell.
I think it'll be fine.
Fine, just fine. I'm interested in how these games work on next gen, so I want to see that. Speed Cups stream when? We'll get there. Is that thing where you like make the towers out of the cups and things? I remember that being really big in like 9th grade.
What?
Yeah.
You know what was big in 9th grade for me? Doing sex and stuff.
How old are you in 9th grade? Because I'm like...
I was 18 in 9th grade.
What? How old?
What grade did she say? It's different in England. 9th grade in England. 9th grade in England.
We don't have 9th grade in England. We don't have... That's what I'm trying to work out.
Oh, you don't have 9th grade in England?
No, we have years. We have year 1 all the way through to year...
Oh, you have Harry Potter school. Okay,
Yes, we'll go to Hogwarts.
9th grade is like 14, 15, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like 9th grade is your freshman year, so like of high school. So like you graduate at the end of the 12th grade or senior year.
Our schools are so different.
Really? Do you guys show up? You get handed a crumpet, and then you guys like stand around.
They give you your wand. They put that hat with the mouth on it on your head.
Yeah. We just leave. Our school. I don't think our school did anything.
Really?
Just one day you go in and you're like, it's my last day. You sign each other's t-shirts.
Oh no, we have like we had like a big ceremony. Like We took that part of Hogwarts. You just took
We took the fun parts. We took the uniform
yeah,
and the crappy dinners.
the screaming plants.
I mean,
Tell me, Cammy, did you learn any spells in your studies?
I can't say that I did. Maybe it was just my school.
Yeah.
I can't
Probably.
remember any. No.
I feel I've started something terrible. We should probably move on.
Jeez. Yeah, guys, just so you know, Uncharted critiques will continue. We're just working on some stuff for some current games that are coming out. Of course, the Cyberpunk delay kind of threw everything, aloof because we had scheduled things out and set stuff aside. But we'll see. But yeah, no, we're working on it. Ooh, and Counterfluxed super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Said, love the return of the podcast. What are your thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn and Hollow Knight now that the former is on PC and the latter is on PlayStation Plus?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a great question. I have not. Have any of you guys tried Horizon Zero Dawn on PC? I have not yet.
I haven't played it on PC, but I have on. I've finished it on. I platinumed it on PlayStation.
Hey,
Jeez, wow.
I have not touched it yet. I have it on my wish list, and I think once payday rolls around, I'll probably pop it open because I don't want to speak ill of Red Dead Redemption 2, but it is a rather cowboy. I gotta be in the mood for it. I've already put 30 hours in. I'll probably take a break, do another 30 hours, and I think Horizon Zero Dawn would be a good way to take a break. Oh, but
Yeah.
Hollow Knight I've played. It's good.
I love Hollow Knight. Horizon Zero Dawn, I mean, I straight up, I was looking at it and my PC wouldn't be able to run it better than my PS4 Pro can. So I was like, why would I spend the money to play it worse? I don't really need to play it again right now. I have done all of the legwork for a critique on Horizon Zero Dawn. I think we're just waiting for the right moment, and that moment will probably be a little closer to the launch of the sequel. But yeah, with the PC upgrade and everything, we'll probably play back through it and get 60 frames footage and everything, and it's going to be crazy. Felipe, give the gamers what they want. Speed cup stream. Okay, what even is speed cups? Is that what it is? The stacking thing? Speed, or is this some really...
Oh, someone might be trying to goatsy you. You better be careful.
Oh no, it says it's cup stacking.
Oh, okay. You're a very kind group of people. Thank you for not doing something evil.
Very wholesome. So this is what it says it is. I don't know if you guys can see the stream, but it's
I'll picture it.
He has a little mat, and then he's just stacking a ton of cups up super fast.
Yeah, I know the kind of thing it means.
This is, I mean, I'm sure people look at gamers and say this is what they spend their time doing, but
Rubik's
guy
Cube and
stacks
speed cups.
Huh. I don't know. We could try this.
We could try it.
I've got cups.
I've got stacking. I've got speed.
I am speed.
I am the darkness. You know what? We might be able to do that for you guys. That I didn't know that was a thing people still did, but apparently it is.
We'll fly Cammy out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta get you out here and get to work.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Last question kind of on our docket before we do the drawing for the winners of the Govi giveaway. I lost my place. Lastly, favorite games of the generation. What do we think? And I want to hear chat as well. Chat, throw your favorite games of the generation in. So basically from 2013 to Tuesday. Cammy, you go first.
How many are we doing? Are we doing top 3, top 5?
I'll allow a favorite.
Favorite?
a wild card,
Ooh.
and an indie game of the generation.
Ooh.
So just not a AAA.
Favorite is Red Dead Redemption 2. Wild card. This is hard. I'm looking at chat for ideas.
Let the intensity build.
Well,
Oh.
top 3: Red Dead 2,
Okay.
The Witcher 3, and Persona 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your indie.
I cannot think of one. There will be. There will be ones that I'm just totally blanking on.
Okay. I mean,
I
of
have to
course,
think.
Battletoads goes without saying.
Yes.
Naturally. And Knack, of course. Knack 2. Jacob, what are yours? And then I will go.
My favorite games that I really like Sekiro for just my favorite. I love that game. Same with Dark Souls 3. Those are 2 games that I put way too much time into. For what was one of them? Wild card we have to have. For
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
wild
Or
card.
do what I do and just ignore
Like
the games
niche appeal.
entirely.
Niche appeal. Probably. Let me pull up my Steam library real quick. I know I have one in there.
Yeah, I'm looking on my phone.
Give me just one little second here. And it has to be from this, because I played a lot of garbage this year. Oh, god damn it. There's 2 indie games I want to pick. I want to do Undertale, of course, because Undertale is goddamn awesome. Five Nights at Freddy's started this year, and whenever you think about it, it's still like super impactful. I talked about it way too much when I first started doing YouTube videos, like 100 videos on it. And then Overgrowth, which is just one of the most tremendous games. I don't even know if that came out this year. None of these came out came out in this generation. I think Overgrowth was a little bit before. But all 3 of those games were incredible. I played them all during this generation. But for wildcard, probably when did Styx come out? I like that game. I don't know. Let's go Dishonored 2. I'll say
Okay.
that. I like that stealth game a lot.
I think for me, it probably has to be The Witcher 3. The wild card, I would probably say... probably Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I played the crap out of that. And then my indie game of the generation, I might have to give it to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
I think
And like
my
Ninja
indie
Theory's... Oh yeah?
My indie one might be Cuphead.
Oh, Cuphead's great too.
Yeah, Cuphead's
Yeah.
really good.
So many
Yeah.
great indie games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's just so many. I mean, the fact that it's so hard to come up with these, I think, is a testament to how great this generation's been. And we're only in store for more crazy awesome games as we come along in the coming months and years. It's going to be a crazy time, and I'm looking forward to it very, very much. So, guys, we're almost there. Let's select the winners of the Govee giveaway. I'm gonna be honest, like the odds of these individuals watching the stream right now at this very moment are not super high, but I will announce them here. We'll post it to the community tab, and I will also send out an Instagram post and Twitter and everything so everybody knows. So these people were just randomly selected. They followed Govee on Instagram, and they also followed me on Instagram, which is how they entered to win. Each of these guys are going to get a pack of these LED light strips, the same exact ones I use to light the studio and that I light the rest of my house with. Pretty crazy, and they're very affordable, so even if you don't win, I actually do recommend them. I've actually ordered a couple more because they're actually like really solid, and they don't cost like $200 like the Philips Hue ones. So the winners are Jacob, drumroll. Waldo Willems.
Woo!
Willems. Waldo, you win. Congratulations. Yeah, congrats. I will send you a message right now. Congrats. You win.
Good for you, Waldo.
Yay!
I love you, Waldo. How you doing, Waldo?
Where is he? Where's Waldo?
Oh, like
South
the book.
Africa.
Oh,
It
that's
says
cool.
South Africa in this,
South
which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and dox him, Luke. Jeez. South
Yeah,
Africa
exactly.
isn't a giant place.
Okay, and then the second winner. Da 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 da.
Who is it?
Anas. That's all I see as his name. Anas. Congratulations. On
Yeah.
Instagram. Congrats. You win the giveaway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hit my thing.
And then I'm going to ask him for his shipping address. Not being creepy, but because Govey needs it to send the legs. Okay. Congrats, guys. You did it. That's great. Govey will be reaching out and sending them out to you guys. So look for those. As always, again, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and join the Discord in the description box below so that you get automatically entered to win a copy of Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be awesome if it ever launches. And yeah, thank you, everybody. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify. You guys, or iTunes and Spotify. You can follow us there, listen to the show on the go. We really do appreciate all of you guys coming out. Hopefully you had a good time. And to send us out, I'm going to ask Jacob to provide us a little going away song. Go ahead, Jacob.
Okay, I'm gonna use the same chords. It's time to leave the stream. Tuck yourself into bed and dream. Go to sleep. Unless it's morning for you, in which case, hi. Good morning. Hello. Next up on the stream, we'll talk about Wii Sports 2 and Halo 3, 'cause it's fun, and I don't get why people don't play old games anymore. Why not just keep playing them? Who needs new shit? I don't. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for coming out, guys. We love you all very, very much, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Love you all.
Woo!
Bye-bye.
All hail the snake god.